Florida got huge news today as RJ Moten committed to the Gators and will be a much needed addition to the UF secondary. We're going to tell you everything you need to know about RJ in today's video, and an interesting nugget we learned about someone on UF's defense. But before we even get rolling, do me a huge favor and comment where you are watching this video from. Gator Nation is everywhere. I love to see it, so fill the comments with Gator emojis and where you're tuned in from. RJ Moten is a huge get for Billy Napier, Corey Raymond, and really this whole staff. Safety is probably one of the positions that most needed on this defense, and really the whole team, in all honesty. And getting in a guy from Michigan, another Power 5 school with really an excellent defense, is a huge plus for sure. Moten is 6 foot, 220 pounds. He plays safety. He's originally from New Jersey. Out of high school, he was a 4-star athlete, and 24/7 had him as a top 200 kid in the 2020 class. Moten is a really, really talented kid. Michigan's safety room is just extremely, extremely deep. And I think that his snaps could have been limited on this defense because their defense is just very, very talented. Like I said, tons of safeties in that room. Now at UF, I think he has a much bigger chance to make an impact, and it'll be immediate. He has 15 starts under his belt from the last couple of seasons, and I think he's going to come in and push for playing time and possibly a starting role right away. His experience is going to be something that this safety room desperately needs. It's not something that can be replicated, right? Like you can bring in all the talent you want, but you can't replace experience. And Moten is going to come in with a ton of experience from a defense who really has been superb the last couple of seasons. I want to talk to you all about Moten a little bit more, but I also want to give some love to Corey Raymond here. We've highlighted him before, but we know you guys don't get tired of hearing about it, so we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Closers close, okay? Corey Raymond has been so good on this recruiting trail. He targets who he wants, he goes after them, and he ends up with them. I think that he's always been a great recruiter, right? But I think the fact that he's in charge of the entire secondary now makes it even easier for him to recruit. He can say, I'm going to be coaching you. I'm your guy. I know exactly what it takes to develop your talent here at UF and to get you to the league. I've done it before. He can show him his laundry list of players that he has gotten into the NFL that are having successful careers. I think with Moten, he targeted exactly who he wanted. He got him in on a visit, and he was able to seal the deal. This is huge. Corey Raymond, the Corey Raymond effect, has been in full motion all offseason, and UF is really going to benefit from it. I'm really excited to see what these guys look like on the field in the fall. We saw some improvement in the spring, and obviously he is loading up this recruiting class from the portal and out of high school. So I think that this has just been such a positive move that Billy Napier made. Let's talk a little bit more about RJ Moten. He had 31 tackles, one of the most spectacular interceptions of the season last year, and 1.5 sacks for the Wolverines. He is very athletic. He moves really well for his size, and he has very good instincts. And you know what else he was? A baseball player in high school. He was an extremely good center fielder. We've talked about how Billy Napier and his staff like to target two-sport athletes. Well, even after spending some time in college for a few years, that's still who RJ Moten is. He's an athlete, and Billy Napier knows it. I cannot stress this enough. We talk all the time about him going after two-sport athletes, but there is just something special about guys that are able to juggle multiple sports at a high level. It takes athleticism, but it also takes discipline and smarts. And those are two things that I think that most all the guys that Billy Napier recruits have in common. Of course, there's this too. RJ's dad played linebacker for the Florida Gators and later for the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. He played at UF in the mid-'80s, and it is always awesome to see a legacy kid end up at Florida, even if it wasn't in the most conventional way possible. I know that when he was getting recruited out of high school, his dad was adamant that he wanted to stay closer to home. So that is why he stayed in the Northeast to begin with. But I think that, this is going to be a huge positive move for RJ and for Florida. And I just always love getting those legacy kids. And the Gators are not done in the portal. I really do believe that they could take 3 or 4 more guys. They did a really nice job of retaining their roster through the spring window, and I believe they're going to be very selective about who they target and who they go after. I know that there's been some chatter about, how UF is doing with this spring portal window and whether or not they are going after guys as hard as they should be or are guys getting away. And honestly, here's the deal, guys. Florida doesn't have that many scholarships to give. I think that Billy Napier is being incredibly selective on purpose. I think he's looking for a very specific type of player. He's looking for a very specific type of guy. He is looking for somebody with the personality to jump right in, the buy-in to jump right in, and he wants guys that are going to be impactful immediately. I think that he knows that the guys that he's signing out of high school will be impactful eventually. So what he's trying to do is bridge that gap between these young guys that he is signing, this class, last class, and where Florida is today. So he is looking for the exact right puzzle pieces that can be plug and play. So I know that people are sometimes a little bit frustrated about how this transfer window is playing out, but I really do urge you, be patient. Trust the process, trust what Billy Napier is doing here, because there is a plan. And I think that Billy's executing his plan exactly the way he wants to. So while maybe you're frustrated that there's not 7, 8, 9 guys that are lined up at the door that are on recruiting visits, trust and believe that Billy Napier knows what he's doing here, and he is going to walk away with the puzzle pieces that he wants. All right, we told you about a possible nugget that we learned. It has to do with the safety position, actually. Multiple sources have told us that there have been discussions about Kamari Wilson possibly moving to linebacker, so not playing safety. Based on the conversations that we've had, it doesn't sound like everyone was immediately thrilled with these conversations. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Kamari is a really, really talented kid. So we're very interested to see where he lines up in the upcoming 2023 season. He is a real talent. UF is going to be better when he is on the field. But I am interested to see what position that will be at. All in all, a great day as the Gators land a massive player at a huge position of need, if not the greatest position of need in the 2023 roster. Again, thank you all for the support on this channel. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. And if you missed our conversation with Dave Waters from Gators Breakdown about his biggest concerns going into the summer, you can click right here.